So here in Evanston, Wyoming, checked in at 4:44, and at 5 o'clock at the Prarie Inn, I tried to voice my concerns to the people at the desk. There's a guy who checked me in. I specifically asked if there was any issues with people coughing or bed bugs or anything. Like, I just talked to someone at the gas station. There's a sickness going around here, and people are coughing. The lady who was in the back is coughing uncontrollably at this location. I went into the room, was there 10 minutes, and immediately I began to cough as well, which was problematic. I asked at the front desk, is this the heater? Can I turn the heater down? I kind of made a joke about leaving the door open all night costing too much, and then I was like, hey, I'm going to just have to grab my money and go, and can I get a refund? You can take a look at this place. They are totally empty here, and the reason they're totally empty is because they're a sick house, and so, but the biggest thing is I wasn't even able to check out. I was like, hey, can I check out? Can you give me my, so I can have a piece of paper, some documentation that says that I was here at this time and the other time. So then I called, and the guy's like, well, we're going to call the cops. I'm like, well, dude, why don't you give me the, A, I need to have a checkout piece of paper. If I'm going to take off, I need to leave the key. B, why don't you come take a look at the room to show you that the room is totally 100% fine, just as it was when I walked in, so there's no damage to the room. And when I went in and took a look at the room, I had no idea that I was going to begin coughing myself uncontrollably after being in there 5 minutes. You know what I mean? I didn't know that. I asked him about that, and he lied to me. So, and then I was like, well, I would contact your management owner so I can follow up with them on this. He didn't want to give me that, and then he went and hid in the back room. So I'm at the desk standing here like an idiot waiting for this guy to do something. So I call the cops myself, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? The cops show up, and I'm like, and I talked to the guy, and I was like, hey, man, let's be rational, let's be adults. To keep $10, give me, it's 57, give me 50, give me 48 back, and because if you're inconvenienced and you're in trouble, you got to smooth the whatever you want to do. Because I was in there 5 minutes, but I got to keep going just because it's not worth my while for $60 to get sick. You know what I mean? I don't want to, I don't want to get sick. So, and I was only in there, and the cop showed up at like 5, and the cop wrote the thing on the receipt too, because the guy is hiding in there and doesn't want to come out. And I'm like, well, what's the deal though? At the end of the day, why are these guys doing such bad business? They've got a million great reviews online. The rooms look beautiful, and maybe it's just that one moment where there's a really bad whooping cough or a sickness going around in this community, in this town. So I caught them at the wrong time, in the wrong way. And normally that's a great business. I don't know, but I certainly have had a terrible little experience there where, I'm walking into a scenario in a situation, and I specifically asked the guy, do you guys have any issues? What's the deal? Or any I asked bed bugs, I asked any coughing, and the lady is coughing uncontrollably, and I didn't see her, she didn't check me in, it was the guy, and then I could see it, and then I was coughing just like her. I was like, I gotta get out of here, I don't want to get this illness, I'm like, I'm in there. He's like, well, you're in the room, you can't have the money back. I'm like, well, hey man, let's be cool about this. Keep $10 because you're inconvenienced. Give me 50, give me 48 back at a 57, and let's all be adults and be rational and be legitimate and move on. But he did not want to do that, and that was, I think, very unfortunate for them. And then the cop showed up, and one of the things the cop said was, well, there's something that says no checkout here. There's no checkout. I'm like, well, any hotel I've been, there's always a checkout procedure. And I asked the cop where was the sign. He said, well, we've been here before. So the police officers went ahead and admitted that at the Prarie Inn, they have a repeated problem where they have to always call the cops because they develop these type of situations because they don't have proper professionalism and customer service in the community of Evanston, Wyoming. So if you see a bunch of great reviews for this place online, and and you think you're just gonna come and get a great stay or whatever, and the rooms look good in the pictures, yeah, the rooms look good in the pictures, the room looks great, but you walk in there, and again, I'm not trying to make them into something that they're not, because maybe this is a great stay when there isn't a bug or a sickness or a bad whooping cough thing going around within this specific community, in other words. So, maybe, again, I just caught them at the wrong time or the wrong way. However, my experience is what I'm relating here, and I'm not, I'm not trying to exaggerate or decontextualize it. I'm just trying to relate it as it was. So my problem is, I think he should just give me the refund. I'm in there 10 minutes. The customer has a complaint. My experience has been that the customer is always right, and usually that's the best way. Why would you not want to do good business? If the guy didn't stay the night, give him his refund. Especially if he's being cool about it and offering to give you $10. Why would you not want to meet him halfway in that? But additionally, why is the guy at the front desk, who's dressed in pajama pants and a sweater or something and looking very unprofessional? And additionally, when I first came to this business, he didn't come to the desk either. I had to ring the bell several times. I walked into the back, and then I walked up into the front again, and did not have any engagement from anyone. There was no one there. So I think there's probably other clients, and so there's no one at the hotel, or coming to the hotel and just going because there's no one at the front desk. The front desk, and I think the reason maybe they're not manning it just because they know they're a freaking sick house and getting everyone sick there. But then again, when I'm there and I'm trying to check out, bring the key to the desk, I'm like, hey man, why don't you go back and look at the room? The room's fine. Whipped out my camera, took a couple pictures, didn't do any damage or use to the room. Let's just be cool, rational. If you want to keep $10, I'd like to get the refund. And he's like, well, they're not doing it. The owner's out of the country. And he says, call the cops. Runs in the back and refuses to give me any sort of a contact for a manager or owner so that I can actually check out, number one, from the hotel and have documentation showing that I'm leaving at a certain time. And when my receipt shows when I got there. And then number two, there's no contact to an owner or a manager or anything. And number three, there's the issue where the guy basically, there's those are the two big things. I think if someone's trying to, first I just think they should have just given me the refund, though. I don't think that there should be a debate. If the customer is in there and if I'm getting sick and the lady's sick, why would you not be professional and cool about that? But to me, those are the two big things. Number one, why do you have to call the cops? Why don't you just give them why don't you give the customer the contact? And number two, why is there not why is there not someone at the desk though when I walk in there? Why is this guy in his pajamas looking like shit? Is this a pajama contest at your front desk of your hotel? I don't know, but and I specifically asked the guy before he paid or anything, was there any sickness going around, etc., and he said no, but definitely there is. I have audio of an interview with someone at a local gas station saying that there's a whooping cough thing going around, and they've had it for months in this town, and everyone's sick. So there is a lack of truthfulness as well with that particular individual, and that's just snowballing to a scenario where it looks like these guys are committing fraud. And number one, but number two, if you have a hotel, you have to have that front desk staffed. And that's not just for my issue after I checked in, but I'm talking about for my issue when I was checking in. When I first showed up at that location, I tried to check in. There was a good 10 to 15 minutes. No one's at the front desk. I rang the bell multiple times. I walked back, looked around, tried to find someone. No one was there. So, no one was there then. No one was there when I was trying to check out. 10 minutes after I paid the money, no one wanted to properly engage with me to get my refund. And the guy said the owner was out of the country. Is there any sort of documentation to support that, or did that man lie there? Why didn't he want to do professionalism and be an adult when I said, hey, keep $10, give me the rest back? And why does he call the cops instead of just giving me the contact and information for the manager owner and a checkout slip and letting me go on my way and then pursue follow-up in a professional and timely and rational way with them with regard to getting a refund if he was not the one ideally positioned to give me the refund, or if he was told not to do it, or any number of other scenarios. But it all leads me to believe that they, at this particular location, Prarie in Evanston, Wyoming, are doing something criminal and fraudulent, because, beyond just unprofessional, criminal and fraudulent, because, if someone goes to a hotel and they're getting sick and they ask about it, the whole town admits that there's a sickness around, no one's lying about it. Maybe this is a great hotel, 11 months of the year, but this particular month everyone's sick here, and I'm getting sick, you need to give the person the refund. You need to let them go. You need to do good business. And if you don't want to do those things, and if you want to lie about it, and you want to say the owner's out of the country when they're not, and you don't want to give the client who paid you $60 their right contact for the owner, you don't need to be in business underneath my flag in my country. You know what I mean? We don't need these kinds of people. We don't need a guy in pajamas hanging out at a business pretending to be a business guy if he doesn't want to, shake a hand, look you in the eye, and do proper business. If he gives me a room and there's something wrong with the room, and and I'm getting sick in the room, and 10 minutes later I'm like, hey man, this is what's going on. Let's work something out. Let's move on. Come look at the room. This is what's going on. What can we do? He doesn't want to engage at all. He wants to be childish and unprofessional. No, there has to be an accountability there. That's $57. This is not a charity. If I pay for a room, I want to be able to go in the room and have no problems while I'm there. If the heater's not working, or if there was bed bugs, or if there's any number of other things going on there, if I'm getting sick, this is what happened in this instance. It feels like I was getting gassed or something in there, and the lady's clearly coughing uncontrollably, so there's a sickness here. Other people admitted to the town there's a sickness. I don't want to obviously get sick in the room. I'm going to have to go on. You're going to have to give me my refund. There's a problem with that room. It's clearly identified. It's clearly supported by data and evidence here in this community, and there's no reason for that business to be behaving within not just the town of Evanston, Wyoming, or the state of Wyoming, or the United States, but really in our world. We don't need to. We have an ability. This is a client. I can put a video online. I can say it. I can be rational and clear and respectful, like I was to the guy, and be like, hey, but we need to have a better accountability, because if I get a guy coming to 15 minutes late to the desk, pajamas, lies to me about the room, I'm getting sick, the lady's sick there, and I'm only in there 10 minutes and I'm getting sick and I have to leave, no, you need to give me your refund. If you want to keep $10 off that 57, sure, you're welcome to do that. But, that's $47 still you need to give back to me. And, beyond that, I think you really should give me more, because I have to make a video now. I have to deal with the police officers. Why is our public safety people having their time wasted? And why is it a repeated process with this particular business? Why can't they have a better guidelines and a policy in effect for their front desk people so they can better manage these type of issues? Have the owner manager's contact on hand, give it to the client. Why are you even creating a scenario where clients are repeatedly asking for refunds and leaving this business? Well, you have customer service issues there, and you give them that information, give them a slip of paper that says their checkout time, and they're on their way. You don't have to waste public safety officers' times who are dealing with more important things. But these people are a burden on this community, because they're operating their business in a way that's contrary to everything that America stand for, everything that America was and is supposed to be about, which is about honesty, respect, effective communication, values, and all of these other things. So it's really a tragedy and a travesty that this has to go down like this, and then the guy has to sort of lie to the cops and and not let me. I think it's an embarrassment to the hospitality industry as well. And I think this type of business, and probably all of their positive reviews, like granted, like I said, I might be catching them at the wrong time, but they're probably a bunch of fake reviews. This guy's got nothing to do. He hangs out in his pajamas and puts positive reviews online for his shitty business, because there's no one in that business when I went through here, and I was clearly coughing, and it's a shit show.